Hey, Star Wars fans! Today we're diving into Yaddle and exploring the best Reddit takes on whether she speaks like Yoda. Let's see what the community has to say. I haven't seen the episode in a while, but Luke doesn't ask Grogu if his people speak in riddles. He is telling Grogu a story of his old master who was like him, and explains that he spoke in riddles. When Tales of the Jedi debuted, this was discussed a lot, though after we got our first real feature of Yaddle, and I believe the official answer from Lucasfilm is that Yoda speaks an archaic form of Galactic Basic. Imagine if someone had been alive since the time of Shakespeare and never fully adapted from the syntax of Old English. They've decided it's just to emphasize his age. Here's that Luke quote from Book of Boba Fett. "I want to tell you about someone you remind me of a great deal. His name was Yoda. He was small like you, but his heart was huge, and the Force was strong in him. He once said to me, 'Size matters not.' That's how he talked. He would speak in riddles. Have you ever heard anyone talk like that back home? Do you remember back home?" So he tells Grogu that he knew someone like him that spoke in riddles, but he also asks if he's ever heard people at his home speak like that as well. I don't have much add here, but even when I first saw the scene, I wasn't sure if Luke meant speaking in riddles or speaking with unusual sentence structure, because Yoda did both. You're right on both ends. Luke is essentially asking if he knew Yoda, but framing it as whether he knew anyone of Yoda's race. That's what Frank Oz said, he's from a different age. Shakespeare, 1564 to 1616, is written in modern English. Geoffrey Chaucer wrote the Canterbury Tales, 1387 to 1400, in Middle English, and the poem Beowulf is written in Old English. A good point. I made a Shakespeare connection because it's not as if Yoda's speech is unrecognizable, he just has an odd speaking pattern. But I was certainly off the mark suggesting that the writing was Old English, so thanks for the catch. I remember reading about Yoda using an old dialect since he's near 1,000 years old and change is hard and language changes and whatnot, so it's possible that Yaddle is just younger than Yoda and is more hip. Or maybe she's just got a better grip on the language and Yoda is just caught halfway between whatever the galaxy speaks and whatever his native language is. Source: trust me, bro. I've known people who have been in the US for 20 plus years and still have an accent, and others who moved here a year or two ago and barely have the hint of anything. It would be funny if Yaddle actually has a speech impediment that makes her sound normal. It's good that this was banished to Legends only, but they did that with a Wookiee once. Something along the lines of Han and Chewie take Leia to Kashyyyk for the first time, and a Wookiee greets them at the landing pad in language Leia can understand, and Leia turns to Chewie and says, "Oh Chewie, I didn't realize you had a speech impediment," and the new Wookiee says, "Oh no, I actually have a speech impediment that prevents me from speaking Shiriwook correctly. All the other Wookiees look down on me. Ah, it was this guy." The canonical reason is that Yoda took his dialect and the way he speaks from his master. The rest of his species does not, in fact, talk like this, which was confirmed by Dave Filoni in an interview. I think that him getting it from his master was something George Lucas originally intended, but I don't have a specific source on that. She didn't skip elementary school. It has to do with how they're raised. Yoda was raised by others of his kind. She was raised by humans. This is why Star Wars can feel so small sometimes, because people think every member of a species has to be exactly the same. Star Trek has the same problem. Every Klingon is a tough warrior guy. It's hard to imagine a Klingon who is into, say, stand-up comedy or prune juice. Oh wait. That's a wrap on Yaddle. What's your take? Drop a comment, like, and subscribe for more Star Wars deep dives. May the Force be with you.